BOTV Brafa, good morning. I had seen a post you had made about people sending voice notes to address this issue of confraternity killings. Initially, I had wanted to send my own take on the issue that day, but nonetheless, I'm still going to send it. I know people usually say there's nothing social about confra. There's nothing social. All these people registering it as social organization, they are just deceiving themselves, waiting for the day to butcher them too. Because sincerely, nobody can run. Nobody will run from this thing. And I can bet on everything that even the ones that are popular, let me assume, I don't want to incite anything, but let me see the video. I assure you that as there is a cult clash in, I think, Anambra between Vikings and Black Axe, even if Davido comes to Anambra, as much as people like him, as much as he's celebrated, if he steps into Hihala without protection, I assure you that guy won't last 10 seconds. They will kill him at the spot. They will bring him down like a dog without protection. He won't even go to that place without adequate protection, because his guys would have told him that there is one or two things happening in that place. That they are not killing him for being individual, they are killing him for identifying with, the members of Vikings are killing him for identifying with Black Axe or MBN or whatever. I'm trying to say there's nothing social. Confra is as spiritual as it can be. It's just that people take it for social whatever, and because our world has tried to water down spirituality, it makes it look as if everything is social. If you're looking for a social organization, you should be talking about PDP. Okay, that's socio-political. You should be talking about which one do I call? All of these organizations. Look, there's none of these confra guys that do not take blood oath. And once you involve blood oath in anything, you've invoked demons or whatever from the extraterrestrial realm. And those demons are not human friends. Let me be sincere. Let any confra point anything. Let any group come out and say, we don't take blood oath. You don't even have to share the blood. You can even put the blood inside the drink and they give you to drink your own blood. Are you getting it? So there's nothing social about confra. And once you invoke the spiritual realm by blood covenant, there's a difference between making pledge. In PDP they make pledge. In other social, maybe you in how do I even call it? In the military they make pledge. You understand? You want to join the force, you make pledge to serve your country. But once it gets to confra, you still make the pledge, no doubt, but you involve blood. Guy, you've invoked another dimension of things, and people are very ignorant about this thing. In a nutshell, I'm trying to say we cannot stop confra issues or confra killings. Let me just be sincere with you. We cannot stop it. We cannot end it, because there's still going to be an influx of people going in and making pledge. What have you asked these confra guys who they make pledge to? They make pledge to demons in whatever representation. The MBN, they make pledge to Okorofo, and that is a demon on its own. The Vikings within, that's a demon on its own. And then the other confraternity that are not so popular, like their deity is not too popular like that. Are you getting it? So they all make pledges to these demons, and I think these demons are coming to help them. These demons are coming to help destroy them. I know somebody might be saying, how about buccaneers? Who told you buccaneers don't fight? You're just saying rubbish. You don't know anything. Over the years, they've tried to... buccaneers fight as well as everybody else. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. Because if you check their own hierarchy, they have people who pull heat. That the fact that they refused to engage, it's either tied to... See, let me tell you something. These cult leaders, like the founders of these things, they know what they did to start these groups. They know the sacrifices they did. They know the things they invoked. Do you understand? And you have to consistently maintain that posture. It's like blood sacrifice. It's like ritual money. When you go to make ritual money and they tell you after 2 months, do like this. If you don't do like this, the thing backfires. Are you getting? Let me just share a secret with you. I know somebody will be wondering, where did I get my information with? That one is not important. These founders, the guys that started the play, any play that has gained notoriety, the guys that started it, they always maintain consistent sacrifice. So for the buccaneers, they are able to sustain the requirements that we do not want our guys in war, and they fight it spiritually. These floor members, buccaneers, they may not even know, and they fight it. There's nothing social about buccaneer. It's as spiritual as whatever, because of the blood covenant, and because they keep that demon keeps enticing young people, and then you pick one side, and then you go and you join, and then you take the blood covenant. You're still within its curfew. But then the leaders are able to are able to appease their gods or whatever, that we do not want our guys in war. We do not want to lose our people. And then they make it look as if everything is so social, that is because we don't want to fight. It's a lie. But once you've offered your blood to a demon, the demon regulates what it does with it. You may be thinking you've gone to school, you're intelligent, okay, blah, blah, blah. It's a lie. You must be very silly. You must be very silly to think that way. So their leaders, that's the buccaneers for now, have been able to, I'm not talking about floor guys, so if you ask their real men, they are able to organize themselves and then appease the gods of their whatever. And then what else? They've appeased their gods, and then they are able to come out in the physical realm now to say, okay, let's not do like this. Let's not do like this, not because those boys cannot fight. I assure you, as long as you've given blood sacrifice, that demon is on you. There's every tendency that you're a murderer. And they're not buccaneer guys that are doing other things. It's just that they don't want to lose members, yes. But it doesn't mean that they do not fight. In the West, they fight. In the places where, and another thing I've seen with Ban is that, and because they don't have so much members, I'm not saying they have members, but they are not like you walk from here to here, you can see a Vikings man, or you walk from here to here, you can see a Black Axe man all over Nigeria. Are you getting it? But the band, I'm starting with the band, I'm going to do analysis for all of them. But the band, because they don't have so much members, outside of maybe Kwara and Ibadan, Ibadan, where they start, I believe they started from Ibadan, where at least that is their mothership, and then Kwara, they have a lot of, they understand. So those places, they can still want to show power, superiority, like we are here, are you getting? But outside of those places, I'm not really sure they get involved in cult class. Let me be honest with you. Some of the reasons why some of these culters say they do not fight is because they don't have the members, they don't have the manpower, and they don't have the political will. Those are the three core reasons. If you see somebody outside of the spiritual aspect, if you see people constantly engaging in war here and there, is that they have the resource, they have the manpower, are you getting it? And they have the numbers. Do you understand? It is normal human intelligence. Do you understand? Anyway, you don't see anybody really getting involved in trouble. If you see person will make trouble, and a person will get money, we get money, you get spiritual backing, and you get manpower. Anybody when you get any of these three things go make trouble, just know say that person they mad somewhere, and they could just throw them. Are you getting it? So for the buccaneers, I think that's the only reason why they don't fight, and their leaders are able to maintain the spiritual posture of the real reason why it started. And even check the reason why buccaneers or the existence of buccaneers. Initially, they were not even. I know it's a borrowed ideology from the outside world to Nigeria. Are you getting it? But even check the origin and expression of the buccaneer in itself. Those guys, they were not like robbers, I don't want to say robbers. They were not like troublemakers. They were like more of policing kind of stuff, putting things in order. Let me say it that way. So they were not necessarily in the spaghetti kind of setting. Unlike I'm talking about the three sailors now. That's the pirates, the buccaneers, and the Vikings. So the buccaneers were not like in the violent kind of setting like the pirates and the Vikings. Yes, let me even move to the pirates. This thing is becoming lengthier than I would expect. Yes, the pirates also get involved. Somebody will say, how about the, okay, I've addressed the issue of buccaneers. Someone will say, how about the pirate? Yes, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Wole Soyinka started this thing. You don't know what goes on in Wole Soyinka's world. Do you understand? Everything is controlled spiritually. When Wole Soyinka withdrew his boys from the university, do you understand? He saw the way things was going to go. And obviously it was going to give him a bad name. So him being a smart man and being that somebody says Wole Soyinka is an atheist, you don't know anything. Him being a smart man went back to the spiritual realm and pushed most of the violence out of it. Look, these things are controlled spiritually. That man has not drank water in over 20 years. That could have been his own sacrifice. Do you understand? He has always been drinking wine. Do you understand? People pay a lot of sacrifice for things. I said in over 20 years, that man has not drank water. And you're wondering why his hair is going white. Do you understand? So the man went back to the spiritual realm and pushed most of the violence. Because already, when buccaneers broke out and Vikings broke out and some other frats broke out, violence began to erupt. It was always going to be violent-oriented. Somebody said Wole Soyinka started fraternity. Yes. But how did he start it? Where did he get the knowledge from? Back many years ago, there were fraternities, yes, but it wasn't the way Nigeria was practicing his own. Let's not confuse gangsterism with fraternity. Are you getting it? Yes, Nigerian setting has brought the two and intermingled the two. There's gangsterism and confraternity now, but let's not confuse. Gangsterity is violence, like physical violence. Physical violence. Confraternity can be involved in diabolic stuff, no doubt. Are you getting it? Especially when there's blood covenant. They can be involved in blood. They can be involved in everything ugly in terms of killing people and all of that. But not like gangster. I don't know how to explain. Gangsterity is violence. You want to show superiority, you shoot somebody, machete somebody. Confraternities can also do that. Are you getting it? But they do it in a very quiet and a very subtle way. In terms of mystic, okay, the aspect of confraternity I'm addressing now in terms of mystic, occult and all of that. Do you understand? But Nigerian system has intertwined the two, violence and occult, and then pushed it down to Nigeria. So when Wole Soyinka bought the idea of confraternity, he bought it from the Greeks started confraternity. Do you understand? Even if you go to America today, there's Alpha, Beta, all of those, Cypher, whatever, Psi, blah, blah, blah. But they don't take blood covenants, let me be honest with you. That is why in their campuses. I'm not talking about people joining Black and Bones. Look, there's a lot of things I cannot put in this audio. Black and Bones, those ones are a different set of things. That's one, let's not even go there. I'm talking about all of this Alpha, Cypher, blood, whatever, the Greek names they use in institutions across the world, especially in the US. Those guys are not involved in blood covenant, but they make pledge, do you understand, to themselves. So that is why they are not necessarily involved in gangsterism, shooting themselves in campus. So Wole Soyinka brought this idea to Nigeria, and then he set up something. He was spiritual, do you understand? The guy has been spiritual from day one. So forget all the grammar the man speaks. It's as diabolic. Look, my house is like 2 minutes walk from one of the pirates' deck. I don't want to call the name so that it's easy to. If I call the name, people can easily spot me. So it's like 2 minutes walk. So I hear everything they do, all they play, their blah 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 blah. So the guy brought the idea and started it in Nigeria. No doubt, unarguably, he may have meant well. But see, human beings. We can start something with good intentions, but we don't necessarily know how it will turn out at the end. The devil is very tricky. So he brought it to Nigeria. Obviously, he made a lot of sacrifice, both blood sacrifice and all of those things, to set up. Look, those guys are intertwined with the marine, so they made a lot of sacrifice. Are you getting it? Because the difference between Nigerian confraternity and the ones outside is that, like, confraternity, not gangsterism. The difference between Nigeria, don't forget, Nigeria's confraternity is mixed with gangsterism. The difference between Nigerian confraternity and the one outside is that they don't take blood oath. but they make pledge. Nigeria does pledge and blood oath. The one outside, all of those sci-fi in their campuses, they don't take blood oath. And now, please, because some people may do a lot of research and they may stumble upon Skull and Bones in America. Bros, Skull and Bones is not a confraternity. There is, like out America, they actually identify differently. They are confraternity, yes, and they are also order, like esoterical orders. Skull and Bone is a confraternity, quote and unquote, yes, and is also an esoterical order. That means they do a lot of human sacrifice, out of body experiences. Are you getting? Let me use order. I think people like Ogboni, yes. This is the ideal word for it, like the Ogboni order. Do you understand? They do a lot of out of body experience and out of engaging with extraterrestrial beings. Do you understand? Skull and Bone is also an order and is also a confraternity. Are you getting it? But the difference between Skull and Bone and the other order revolving around Skull and Bone is that Skull and Bone, they will take blood oath and they will do a lot of all of these extraterrestrial activities, contacting spirits and all of those things. But I'm talking about the ideal confraternities in the US and other campuses like the Alpha, Beta, Alpha, Gamma, blah, 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 and all of those ones. They take pledge, not blood oath. That is why they do not fight there. Are you getting it? Because there it is a social group. Here in Nigeria, it is not a social group. It is as spiritual as it can be. It's just that our leaders are smart and the populace are dumb enough to believe that confraternity is a social group. In Nigeria, they are not social group. You've taken blood covenant. There's nothing social about that. You've invoked spirit. You've pledged your loyalty to spirits, not just any spirit, demonic spirits. So there is nothing social about it. So let me go back to my story. Wale Soyinka brings them in and then does his own level of sacrifice. And then, let me even ask, I've been wanting to ask, were there not social groups fighting for injustice in Nigeria before Wale Soyinka came up? Why did he have to start his own? That man has been spiritual from day one. Why did he have to start his own? Forget that English, he comes out and says there's no God. He's deceiving people. Why did he have to start his own? So he wanted to start his own and then he brought the ideology from outside. Do you know what the pirates have done over the years? Some people have watched the movie Vikings. Let me just use that one. You've seen the level of diabolicness in that movie. It's not just about violence. You've seen the incantations they do. You've seen how they consult with demons. Look, those movies portray exactly what things are supposed to be. So Wale Soyinka brings his own whatever and then starts. And obviously there's blood covenant, there's bloodshed, there's pledge. He identifies with the demon from the Nigerian origin and then brings the name outside and the ideology outside and then sets up something. And then blah, 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 before you know. Okay, let me even go back to America. In America, yes, they have disagreements. The reason why there's this group from this group, like under the confraternity, there's this group from this group, and then they have disagreement, and then you see it, like they come out in dance, or they want to come out in whatever. That is how they fight their own. Because there's no blood covenant there. But in Nigeria here, because there's blood covenant, and because you've invoked demons, and you don't just pledge socially, you've invoked demons, the only way you can fight out yourself is for those demons to make you useless. You make you kill your own brother. They make you fight over unnecessary. You think these court guys in Nigeria, they don't have sense. They don't have sense. Anybody that had sense that went and in fact, if you didn't even have sense, before you even go and join that thing, you don't have sense. Are you getting it? You don't have sense before you even go and join that thing. For you to even go and join means you don't have sense. Forget all these people sitting inside and say, myself, I'm tired of the killing. They are just fighting for... That person saying that thing that went and joined doesn't have sense. Because if you've had sense, you wouldn't have joined that thing. The moment you started reciting certain incantations and oaths, that's when you know you don't have sense. Because you don't even know what you're giving your life to. So the dissension in America under their confraternities, they don't fight it by bloodshed. Do you understand? Under confraternities, not gangsterism. Gangsterism in America is a different thing. That one, before you join, obviously there's a bloodshed. Do you understand? So the buccaneers broke out, and the Vikings broke out. And then subsequently, some guys broke out from the Vikings, and I think they call themselves, I don't know, a tab or something. Just everybody started breaking out. If you feel disgruntled with whatever, you break out. And those ones that don't have, see, the level of visibility your group has is directly proportional to the level of sacrifice your forefathers made. Like the founding fathers. Let me just be sincere. The level of visibility, the ones that are as visible as, I'm not saying visible by violence. That is why you see 1 billion. There's one time some people were raining, they say 1 million boys or whatever. Do you understand? They won't last. They may just come out and blah, 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 and they fizzle out. Do you understand? Talking about real visibility, like lasting visibility. Do you understand? Like national visibility. The level of visibility is directly dependent or proportional to the level of sacrifice your forefathers made. Both blood sacrifice, covenants. Do you understand? And their ability to sustain the requirements of that covenant will distinguish them. Now, let me move straight to the black axe. Let me be sincere with you. Do you know why black axe is always getting involved in war? It's not just because they have the numbers and then, it's not just because they have the numbers and then they have the manpower. It's because their forefathers have not been able to sustain the requirements of that thing. Do you understand? The requirements of, I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying. They have not been able to sustain the requirements of that ritual. Do you understand? So that's why that thing is claiming black axe members. If you check all over Nigeria, I know many people have said black axe is the problem of Nigeria. Yes, to be honest with you. Do you understand? And I want to take away that notion that there's nothing like most rugged. Are you getting it? There's nothing like that. There's nothing like most rugged. We are the most rugged. Rugged in where? If using these three criteria as I told you, manpower, number, and spiritual backing. If you use those three criteria, if you check in certain regions, they have that criteria. In other regions, they don't have that. Are you getting it? So that criteria doesn't necessarily play with black axe. Do you understand? If you go to where do they have a lot of manpower? Okay, maybe in the West they have a lot of manpower. Okay, I know in Benue they have a lot of manpower. In where else do they have? Okay, maybe Benin their is it Mother Temple or whatever they call it, their high temple. That's the Futajalo. They have a lot of manpower there, yes. But if you check in other places where they don't have manpower, there's usually less war. And then why it looks as if they have war all over Nigeria? Every year they have war almost all over Nigeria and they are losing members. Let me tell you, one of the core reasons is that their forefathers, these small black axe members, they may not even understand what I'm saying, is that their forefathers have not been able to uphold. It's like, I don't know, it's like money ritual. Their forefathers have not been able to uphold, okay, how do I even say it? Maintain what is required. Are you getting it? That is one thing Olesonka has been able to do very effectively. Do you understand? He has paid the price, he has seen that the violence is coming, and he has been able to pull out his guys. That is the human part. And the spiritual aspect of it, the spiritual energy required to maintain the peace in private. Olesonka is doing it. Don't be surprised if that man passes away tomorrow, or goes to answer God tomorrow, and the next person that sits as their grand patron or whatever, is not able to pay as much as that price. I assure you, pirates will disintegrate and they will get into a lot of violence. So for MBN and Black Axe, their members have not been able, their forefathers, well, I don't know if the real guy, the 7 guys that started it, they are still alive. But the guys that have become the founding members, they are either unaware of this, or they are or they've not taken it seriously. That is why that thing, a demon, whether group or whatever, is claiming their lives all over Nigeria. It's like they are the ones that die the most. Every year they are the ones that die the most. From the north, okay, north usually don't have much class. Okay, from the middle belt to the west, to the south, to the east. Now them they die fast. And it's not as if they have the highest number of people. Do you understand? Maybe they may have the highest number of people regionally, maybe in the west, or maybe in the middle belt. Do you understand? And they may have manpower there. Okay, yes, they have a. Let's say they have a substantial number in the east. Do you understand? So they've not been able to maintain the spiritual energy required to purge the system and then appease their gods or whatever. So that's why that thing takes them. Sincerely. Now why did they die like fowl? Now why did they die like fowl? Even in their mother temple, Futajalo Benin, they are still the Oba the Oba is still a senior man there, but that one is using that one is using them to drink to maintain his, I don't know. Let me not say certain things. The man is using people in Benin, they are using people's blood to maintain energy in the spirit realm. So they will always fight. You can imagine they always fight. And the same thing, let me even move to here. Let me leave Black Axe alone. There's too much to say about that thing. See, eiye is the only frat without ideology. Eiye itself is witchcraft. Let me be sincere with you. Do you understand? It wasn't a cult group. It was a traditional whatever. It was a traditional kind of thing. Like, this is the tradition in itself. And it was rooted in witchcraft. Then some people said, okay, let's push it to campus and let it become a campus whatever. Witchcraft is known for blood, though. A witch will eat his own child, suck his own husband's blood. Do you understand? Do you understand? Witchcraft is known for blood. Let me be sincere. Eiye is rooted in witchcraft. These members walking around, they may not even know what it means to fly. The core guys, the core. If you see, I believe it started in Benin. So the core guys, they are heavily witchcraft, and they are like warlords in the spirit. These are witches, like wizards and all of those things. So that is where that thing is rooted from. They don't have a core. They are the only ones I don't know if they have a core, any ideology. Okay, MBM said they are fighting for freedom. Which freedom? Look. You've lost a lot. What are you fighting exactly? What is the freedom you're fighting exactly as an MBM member? What is the freedom you're fighting for as an MBM member? Even the educated ones, let them come out and tell Nigerians what freedom they are fighting for. Let the members of Vikings come out and say what service to humanity they are offering. What services are they offering to humanity? Your clay in their different days, in the different celebration day, they buy 1 carton of Indomie, buy a packet of tissue paper, buy dig borehole for people. The same people you made homeless, the same people, the same wives you killed their husbands, the same children you made fatherless by killing their father, the same children you made orphans, the same wife you made widows, are the same people you are buying tissue paper for. Is that a service to humanity? For Vikings, for MBN, which freedom are they fighting exactly? Across Nigeria, which freedom are they fighting for? It's not because people are not intelligent, it's just because people are refusing to see that this thing is as spiritual as something, as what it can be. You find intelligent people when once they enter that thing, they don't know where the problem is coming from. You can never know the way of the spirit thinking with your mind. You will never understand it. Because anything can happen. You can see a full-fledged, very healthy human being today, and you just shake him 5 minutes later, you hear the person just drop dead. He was not sick. That is the spiritual at work. Anything can happen. So your intelligence doesn't count. So for MBNO, if they want to stop losing their members, it's not about showing you have members. I assure you, nobody even knows the current member. The way it is depleting. But these demons have invaded people's mind and they keep thinking we have members. The way it is depleting, you can't imagine. People are losing their lives for nothing. The earth is being destroyed for nothing. Same with Vikings. The reason why there is relative control in Vikings is because about I think 2 or 3 of their founding members are still alive. Rising Angel is still alive. And that man is really controlling things in the spirit in Port Harcourt. I'm telling you, Baba, there are people's name I should not even call, and there are things I should not even say. Because at the end of the day, they will start talking, who is this one? The guy is controlling things in the spirit realm. Do you understand? There are people that are not just interested. All they want is money. One of the problems I see with Black Axe is that their leaders are all interested in money. They are looking for where to pick the next bag. So they are not interested in losing their members. The people lose, like the members going lost, they're not really interested. It's just money they're looking for. It's just money they're looking for. That is why they're losing members in droves. People are dying unnecessarily in droves. And if you're careless to that demon takes you. You can never be smarter than it. So in Port Harcourt, there's relative peace. In Benin, there's never peace. Because one of the principalities sitting as the head of Benin Kingdom is a member. And his own is using it to sustain his throne. The bloodshed and all of that. And he's not even saying anything. And then the leaders of MBN in Benin too, like the founding leaders, wherever they are residing, they are not paying the adequate price for what they are supposed to be doing to maintain peace and sanctity in Benin. Same with Ibadan, where you have the eiye and buccaneers. Do you understand? The buccaneers, they may tend to go lose at times at Ibadan, but there's still relative peace somehow. Therefore, the eiye is rooted in witchcraft. They are not doing anything. Pure witchcraft. They just initiate people and then mark them for death. You just see. I'm not in support of any confrat, but the worst confrat to join in this life is eiye. The second is black axe. To be sincere, this is my personal opinion. Anybody can diss me for this. But you see those two, those are the worst things to join in this life. Eiye and black axe. The leaders have faulted their deity and they've offended their deity and they've refused to make peace. That's for MBN. For eiye, it is rooted in pure witchcraft. And we know what witches do. It's just to eat their members. This young guy is saying, why are you flying to? Baba, my voice note is becoming overly lengthy. And I'm not sure I've coordinated the things I wanted to say the way I wanted to say it. But I just want to stop here. There is no hope for ending cult killing. Let me just say it that way. There is no hope. It will always happen. The system cannot be pushed. We've already established it in blood. It will continue. And it will keep demanding until the leaders of these things go back to the foundation and make peace with their deity. Because we've already invoked a lot of things. And Wole Soyinka is taking a lot of credit in the spirit realm because all of the heads that are rolling and all of the blood is giving him more rank there. It's the deception of the devil that once you serve him and then you die, you have peace with him there. Anyway, I don't want to go into a lot of things. But the man is making a lot of profit in the spirit realm. He will come out looking as if he cannot even hurt a fly. But Soyinka is making a lot of advances in the spirit realm because of the blood that other fraternities that he is the father is shedding. The devil is increasing his rank in the spirit realm. But he has been able to pay his own sacrifice, measure up to things that is required for pirates to stay out of violence. If he dies tomorrow, nobody knows. For Black Axe, their leaders need to go and make peace and reorganize themselves. Do you understand? Let me just say in summary, anything, any covenant, any pledge that is rooted with blood, you've invoked a spirit. And spirits are not human friends. They may help you, but their real intention is not to help you. Their real intention is to see you suffer. And the reason they help you, let me say for example, if they help you once, they will require something. They will help you too, they will require something. If they keep helping you and then you refuse to give something, they will turn your life around. It's just common logic. They start messing you up. So let the leaders of MBN go and fix MBN spiritually. I assure you, there was one state in Nigeria, one state capital. There was always recurrent war with this particular group. They were having ceaseless war until one of their founding fathers came. Well, the day he landed in their state airport, he walked barefoot and entered their city. And then he declared peace from that day. After that day, I assure you, I'm not sure since after that day. It's like been 15 years, there's been up to 2 wars saved after that man declared peace. You know why there was always war? Because when the man came one time, somebody in his flat offended him. So when he left, he said there was not going to be peace in this city. And I assure you, for more than 30 years, there was no peace. Recurrent wars. They had to go back and invite the man. The man is still alive. He's one of the founding fathers. I don't want to call anybody's name. But those that have been following the issue will know what I'm talking about, on the flat I'm talking about. The moment he entered the city, I said he started at the airport, he walked barefooted. and then he declared peace. And after that day, for the last 15 years, there hasn't been up to 2 wars with those people in a particular city. So let me leave it here, beauty. There's so much to talk about. Let me just leave it here. This voice note is becoming lengthy. Thank you.